Hi, good day to all of you because you are all coming from different time zones. I see somebody joining from Philippines, which is almost like 10 o'clock for them and 10 o'clock at night, and here it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We have different time zones. Thank you all for being here and learning about different chocolate maker stories and how they overcome difficulties so it can inspire you. So I just want to take a couple of minutes of your time to talk a little bit about CocoaTown. No, we just have a small presentation. And CocoaTown, we have been in business for 30 years as a parent company is Concepts. It was started in 1992. And then we started as a trading company, but we traded only innovative specialty food processing machines. We did not sell Me Too machines. And then we primarily focused on making food for the South Indian cooking, which was a little bit harder because Indian cooking is from the scratch. You cannot, you have to do everything yourself. It takes longer time. And then over the years, we found out these machines can be used for other food, not just for South Indian food, because whenever people buy and we look at the name, and if you don't recognize South Indian name, we call them and ask them, hey, what are you buying it for? Then they told different things they're doing, and we collected that information. And then when the recession hit in 2007 and 2008, we were looking for an avenue to change because we didn't want to focus on only like a one small narrow segment to market our products. And then we found out some chocolate makers were using our machines to make chocolate in small batches. But they had to be not just chocolate makers, they also had to be MacGyvers because the South Indian grinder that we were selling, it was made to make grind rice and lentils for 20-minute batches. That's it. You make like two batches, like a one for rice and one for lentil, and then you use it only once a week. But whereas these chocolate makers were trying to use the same machine for 3 days continuously so they can get the right particle size. So then we came in and said, okay, we will help you to have the right equipment so you can focus on your trade and we can focus on giving you the right equipment. So we always wanted to, sustainability is one of our top priorities. So we want to make sure our machines are environmental, business, and agricultural sustainability. So our machines use the lowest electricity possible, and we want to make sure our customers also thrive in difficult situations. And that's why in 2009 we started the CocoaTown, and we provided also the education like the bean to bar workshop. And also we wanted to sustain the farmers, the cocoa farmers, because instead of selling cocoa beans as a bulk food, now they can sell it to the chocolate makers who are willing to pay 3 to 10 times more than the market price. And then also the customers, their customers also benefited because instead of eating junk chocolate, they could eat healthy chocolate because cocoa is a superfood. And then they can get the full benefit of using just the cocoa and sugar are two minimum ingredients. You don't find in any of the wrappers the chemicals or anything that you cannot pronounce. And then this is a brief outline in how it happened in 1994 to think. We also, our machines are patented machines. And in 2019, when at the end of 2019, 2020, early 2020, when the pandemic hit, then we had to reinvent ourselves. So we were thinking, how can we make a difference in our customers' businesses? Because, like I said in the before, CocoaTown believes in sustainability of our customers' businesses too. Then we found, came up with the idea of having this webinar called the Empowering Chocopreneurs series, and we invite industry leaders, the chocolate makers, and other people from different parts of the world to share their knowledge and struggles and triumphs with the community, so one can learn from each other. So that's what is happening now. And now we are also giving education equipment, and also we are coming up with evaluation tools. And we are trying to create online CocoaVersity, the university for all the resources related to chocolate and cocoa. And then we are coming up with the new lines of machines and accessories. So in the future, I know we are just hoping and hoping soon the world will open up and we can meet in person. Still then we will continue the virtual connection. So one good thing with the virtual connection is you can connect to people in remote areas and they can just sit in their room and then learn about it instead of visiting Atlanta to learn or something like that. But still we miss the face-to-face interaction, being in presence of our customers. So hope we can start traveling again. And I always end with the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all the beings everywhere in the universe be happy and free, and may the words, thoughts, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom to all. Now I will pass on this to Teresa, and Teresa, take over, please.
Sure. Thanks. Thank you so much. I just want to say welcome, Rayed, and we're so glad to have you with us today and excited to hear your story. I was telling Mrs. Balu after I spoke to you this week during our conversation, the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up listening to you talk about your passion for business and how this idea came to pass, and just so impressed with your knowledge and thirst for more information. So maybe we can start by, can you take a moment and tell us about that time when the spark was lit for you, the passion was lit for you in regards to bean to bar chocolate?
I would like to start saying salam and thank you for having me today. I'm Rayed. I would like to introduce myself a little bit. I'm Rayed from Saudi Arabia, born and raised in Saudi Arabia, one of the most hot climate in the world. And I started making chocolate by accident, actually. As I told you in the previous last week. So there is one guy in 2018, we get agreement together. I have to purchase the cacao beside coffee because we are belong to family who trade the coffee. I'm the third generation in my family who's trade the coffee. So yeah, I like the idea because first time I heard about cacao, it was in 2012 as a commodity. Then I have some interest in 2017 about cacao and chocolate, and I do little search in Google. So I met Mr. John Nancy from Chocolate Alchemy, and he gave me some hint about the chocolate. Then I skipped the idea. Back to 2018, I said because in 2017, I say the process, it's too much long. It's take too many steps. So no, it's not my brief use, and it's my favorite business to make many steps and logistic and farm. Yeah, it's not same the coffee. Coffee, it's easy. We just have to purchase our coffee beans, then we roast back, then we sell. But with cacao, no, it's totally, yeah, there's the principle, it's same, almost same, but the process, no, it's longer. Then I jump into Europe in 2019 to learn more about coffee and enhance my experience by practical and take some one-to-one course. And I figure out more about chocolate in France, Switzerland, and Italy. Because something jumped into my mind, the guy who's considered my partner is manipulating me. So I have to take my step and find exit for what I'm forced, because he's fraud me and I lose my cacao. That's what I think, because it takes too long three months until I arrived, and it's not arrived to Saudi Arabia, from Colombia to Saudi Arabia. So in 2018 also, I was doing my search with my assistant, Ronald. I hope they joined to us. He's in Philippines right now. And we searching about the equipment, because the guy in the previous agreement, he will handle the equipment, and I have to purchase the cacao. Then we start connect with Mrs. and Mr. Palu, and she told me she will come to Saudi Arabia for the chocolate festival. Then we prepare for meet her in the festival, and she brings some machines for the show for the show. In the last day of the show, our products, or our beans and cacao and coffee was arrived to Saudi. Then I asked her to take advice from her about the cacao, because our agreement, it was to purchase raw cacao, but the guy bring nibs to us, which is, it's not what we dealing with. Then she told me, this is the worst cacao nibs ever you have. Well, what you have, it's the worst thing. Then, because I don't know, this is my first time to see cacao nibs by this way, with the bad aroma, a lot of things. Then I said, yes, okay, I will, if I have the worst cacao nibs, so I know when I make my good cacao from. Then I start digging about cacao supplier. So we start with sample from Uncommon Cacao and Meridian Cacao, and they provide cacao from same region of Colombia. So I figure out the difference between both cacaos, which is the nibs was so bad, so worst, but the cacao, when I roast it by myself, because I have the knowledge of the coffee, so it's the same with chocolate, with little adjustment in the temperature and other things. So you can find your profile roasting. So yeah. Then we start thinking about connecting with the CocoaTown to learn more about machines, until 2020 start the pandemic, and the borders was closed, lockdown, and I like the cacao. I like this business. Yeah, it take long time for processing, but I like the way, because when I taste the chocolate, it's not same what usually in the local market. It's totally different. Yeah. Since 2020, we contact more people. We be more involved in chocolate industry, and I spend my time slept beside machines, listening to the sound of the machine when some cracking, and making the solid to liquid, the temperature, watching the temperature, because it's not the same the cup of coffee. It takes 3 days. Which is I have to be careful with the temperature, doesn't goes high or leak down in low temperature. And we start developing and enhance our experience and educate ourselves with our friends, and by reading books and watching more YouTube channel about chocolate.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for that. Something in our conversation that, well, many things, I made some notes, but one thing that stood out for me, and which I love, one of the things I love about this industry and the people in the business and the passion. Can you share with us, you talked to me about connecting and how and the community, and sort of it felt like sort of your vision and mission, and sort of your personal feeling about connecting communities. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. Chocolate, it's totally different, not same as the fine chocolate. We're talking about the fine chocolate. Also the specialty coffee, because it's same concept. it's not an Instagram post, just like or you leave bad comment about the post. And no, it's totally different. Making chocolate, it's talking about sense, your sense, connecting with other people to discover what the flavor in the, for example, for the supplier, what they have or what they offer for your tasty. Traveling around the world to meet makers and supplier and the farm, it's part of the process. You have to be engaged with the whole chain of this business. You cannot separate, say, I'm chocolate maker, I just have to purchase online my cacao and they will stay in my shop or factory to prepare chocolate. You have to travel, you have to meet people, you have to be open-minded to meet different culture, different people. Yeah, it's not easy to explain how the enjoyment of meeting other people. I feel more satisfied with my humanity when I meet other people, not for religion, not for politics, not for gender, just we share the passion, because passion, it's without passion you cannot make chocolate. Without passion you cannot discover more flavor. It's very important. Start from the farm and how the farmer was struggling with what to understand, because it's not in the shelf. You just buy and grab and go. No, you have to be very close to your cacao community. Cacao community is totally different from the coffee community. With cocoa, they share more knowledge. They open to share you their experience. Even when I was in Tanzania last year, I met Hasna and her husband Vincent, and he invited me to come to France and learn more about the management of chocolate, because chocolate it's not exist in Saudi Arabia until 2020 officially. There is a small maker also in the town, but still they trying to develop their skills. We are starting early in 2018, so we cross a good distance in chocolate. Other one chocolate maker, Mark, also in Paris, he invited me to come to his shop and learn more about. And I like his mother. She told me one day when I was in Safari, can I take a picture for you? I said yes. Take your time. Yes. Then she said, I have the video. I was shooting a video for that. She told me, her sister, she's embracing how a guy from this part of the world, the warmer climate, he make his own chocolate. Yeah, we make our chocolate, and we're proud to craft chocolate in Saudi Arabia. It's good to be engaged in this community.
Yes, thank you. That's something that always impresses me, the willingness of the people in this community to share their knowledge. And they don't treat each other as competitors, but as sort of brothers and sisters on the same journey. Also, you talked about that same concept in telling your story and connecting not just within the 𝗵𝗵𝗊 business, but how the chocolate can sort of take down borders, and through, you know, your customers and through, you know, getting your product out there, you can unite people through telling your regional story, through the flavors and the chocolate that you make. I was very impressed by that, and I think that's another thing that is prevalent in this industry, using your passion to unite people and bring people together. So you mentioned a struggle that I've been thinking a lot about since we talked. How do you, it's hot where you are, and you mentioned when we talked that when you walk out the door, the chocolate melts. How do you handle that? What do you do?
Actually, okay. we start making chocolate from my parents' basement. So the weather, the temperature there, it's fine to make chocolate. Okay, and the storage, it's so there is no humidity, no sun, hot weather comes to the basement. Also, it's protected from the sand because we now it's dusty weather, so we have to protect the where we make our chocolate. This is the first important things we have to do. Then to the storage. I study economics for 10 years. Also, I spent 10 years of my life gathering the knowledge in business administration, in the economy, because part of my life I was moving around study to study, because I spent a couple of years studying dentist. Then I moved to study business administration. So yeah, I get the knowledge about how I make my how to do things from scratch. Okay, this is very important. You have to find the threat. Here in Saudi, the weather is the climate is very threat. So I have to work. We cannot deliver our chocolate in the morning. We have to deliver in the evening, in the summertime. We find the couple shop, they co-op with me to sell my chocolate in their own shop. So yeah, the customer, they can take it directly. There is the logistic companies here, they develop now the over cooler transportation, but still it's expensive. When we add when we add the cost, it goes for around $30 for so in USD. So it's too much. We still develop our relation and increase our we try to figure out how the most how to find the right way to distribute our chocolate. It's through the other shop, not in our shop, because we cannot serve all the town, all the Riyadh and the main city of Saudi Arabia. And this is, it's good way to start, but still we're developing with the ice bag, and we have to invest more. While we expand our business, we have to invest in our own logistic to serve our customers.
Sorry, thank you for that. So something else that I thought about that I was impressed was your thirst for knowledge. Can you share? So our Empowering Chocopreneurs webinars attract people that have never made chocolate, are thinking about going into business, to folks that are doing it as a hobby, up to members of the Fine Chocolate Industry Association. Can you talk about for the folks that are just getting started? Tell us what classes you've taken. What have you done to learn? Because like you said, coffee and chocolate or cacao aren't exactly the same. So can you share about that?
Okay. The most important thing is how to run your machine. Okay. As we discussed this week, in 2019, when Mrs. Andel and Paolo was in the festival here in Riyadh, they just give me hint how to run the machine. I don't know how to run the eggs. I don't take any training to how I run my machine. So I try from scratch also. I just take the machine from the festival and put it in the basement. Then I add some nibs, and then I see how I'm embracing that moment, because I remembered when the high pressure and the temperature can squeeze the nibs and transfer from solid to liquid. Then I understand the concept of the machine, the temperature, and I try to figure out by myself, and any issues I have to call Mrs. Andel and discuss it about it, how I run machine. There is some part missing or broken part, and yeah, by mistake. in this moment, I learned by mistake and by practical. The golden rule, it was, don't break your machine. This is my rule. So you can do anything, because I spent 10 years gathering the knowledge. So I'm not studying in the formal study education. So I study by mistake, by experience, by practical, by out of the box, how to be always out of the box. It's to handle in yourself, to rely on yourself, not otherwise any person. So that's what led me to understand the machine. Even when I purchased the FDA, the temper machine, it was in the lockdown, and the Mr. 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗀𝗍 from the company, he's given me some virtual training about how I run the machine. Then I run my machine by myself. But the good things, as I mentioned in the past, all of our supplier, all of them, they understand how we struggle, how the tough time to work with your machine alone, without training, physical training in their own facilities. They always invite me when I can to visit them and enhance my experience and learning how to do maintenance, because the machine, it's very important to do the maintenance for your machine. So yeah, we accept some of them, and we are going to Italy to learn more about machines. And also we work to enhance other people, our local community who's looking to start this business, because there is no supplier for machine, no suppliers for cacao. We made all the mistake. I made all the mistake. Even one time when we was discussing with my family, and my father, he told me, how you find the chocolate business? Is it fine? Is it everything goes right? I said, no. Every task I have to force struggle. Every task I have to do something wrong. It came wrong. It's not by my hand, because I have to enhance my experience. I have to learn more, educate myself. That's why I said in the end of the discussing with my father, but the good thing in my mistake, it came with taste. So I can taste my mistake, which is very important to me. When I make some wrong recipe or playing with the wrong ratio of ingredients, I learn by practical. So it's not about formal study, put this ratio 10% of sugar or butter. No, I create my own recipe by myself, because I have to do. I discover many ingredients that it can be enhance my chocolate. I figure out many of local ingredients that it can be enhance the local community, local market, like date, sugar date, sesame, roses for flavor and aroma, olive. Yeah, because people doesn't know about the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, it's big country, and with different 13 states, which is each state have his own ingredients, such as we are in the middle, in the central state. So we have the dates, the palm farm. Yeah, that's why.
All right, I don't want to take too much more time to take away from you have a presentation for us, but I have just one more question I would like to ask. For those that are just getting started, is there one piece of advice that you could give? Because what you've just done is talked about a lot of obstacles, and when I hear that, I'm like, well, that explains why I'm not a chocolate maker. I'm a chocolate taster and eater and lover of sort of, I'm not a maker, because it's a lot of hard work. Is there one piece of advice that you can share with aspiring chocolate makers or chocolate makers that are meeting all these obstacles and sometimes maybe thinking, gosh, this is too hard, or I don't want to go forward? Or can you share one piece of advice or something that keeps you going?
If I'm going to say something, you will discover your sense. Yeah, and this is more than enough to start making your chocolate, because you will learn the patient, be patient with 3 days in grinding, and you will listen to your machines and listen to the cracking. Each part of this process, it enhance me at least. So the aroma when I roast, when I grind, each part, yeah, it's tough. It's not easy. You have to be disciplined with what you are doing, willing to do, because without discipline, without discipline, you and passion, you will don't make chocolate. This is my advice. If you are not willing to be patient and disciplinary with your task, just enjoy to eat, not to make. This is totally different.
Very good. Thank you so much for indulging me and answering some of our questions. So with that, I will turn it over to you, and you can share your presentation with us. And then we will have time, as we said at the end, for some question and answer with Rayed. So feel free to put your questions in the chat. And I do see some questions already coming up, and we'll do that after we hear from Rayed. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you see the presentation now? I already shared my screen.
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir.
I would like to start with this slide, because opening the bean to bar doors in Saudi Arabia. This bar, it's camel milk, white chocolate. Then when we're talking about connect to the people, it's good to we enhance our experience by meeting new people around this world, and always I mentioned salam, because we have to show the respect and the peaceful, to share the knowledge and to share the passion in this journey. Then living with your own principle. Making chocolate, it's make me different. So I love the differentiate what I living now. So I say I was not expecting to become a chocolate maker one day, because as I mentioned, the guy who's willing to do this part of the machine, the mission. My mission is just to funding the company. Till I found myself slipping away from plan, where I had to force many certificates and do things that made me move forward and to become what I'm on right now. So as I mentioned, for practical side, I learned by mistake. I learned by myself. With my supplier, they support me with some virtual training, or figure the mistake when we check the machine. But since I start making chocolate, I have to enhance my my experience, not only the taste. I have to where can I find more subject to learn from. So I chose to join to Fine Chocolate Association since 2019, and International Institute for Chocolate Tasting. I passed level 1 and I had finished level 2 last week. To know and recognize which chocolate to be in the standard of the we have to find, I already find my flavors and how I make my chocolate, but I have to follow the standard, the global standard. Then we start our philosophy with the door, because this is one of our packaging when we developed the packaging in 2020. Our philosophy here: you cannot enter to this building without doors, and who's inside, they cannot allow to go out without door. So the right way to learn about culture, it's through the doors. And doors, it's present how many times I had reject in my life and in other things when I trying to do something in my life. So this is the door, and we consider ourselves who's willing to present the culture, the local culture, to the global, and how we can develop something from our local culture to enhance the world from our flavor tasting or our landmark in our packaging. Playing with culture, it's something I like it very much. That's why I spent more time trying to figure out what's the right way to how to present our packaging. So one day I contact someone in designer in LA, and our relation came as a friend. So I complained to him about one struggle, how the guys, they reject my project here in local market. And he say, you made your door matter. I just help you to translate, because I just draw the sketch of the door, and we try many times to figure which the doors it's the right heritage door to present our culture. Then developing a brand, which is, it's not easy during the COVID-19 and for registration locally. So we try with Rayco. It's the interim light, which is in my mother child, but it doesn't came fit, and they reject our registration. Then they give us a 10 days chance, small window, just to make to adjust our logo and our brand. Then I contact Mr. Tom, and I explained this is not we cannot continue with this trick. We have to change whole the brand in 10 days. And it came with me idea, this is personal brand, so I have to involve myself in my brand. Then we merge between Rayed and company, which is it came Rayco. Rayco, it's Spanish name as what we figure out when we search, and it's present definition of who's enjoy in all finer things in life. That's good standard of living allows. In Arabic, if you listen to Rayco, it's your opinion. So we give people also the chance to talking about how they feel about and how they figure out our chocolate. Then this is our official brand. It's registration in 2020 as a first brand chocolate chocolate maker brand who's craft their own chocolate. And in 10 days we cannot make something huge, but I came with my my signature, because in the end it's to improve that I'm very sure about the quality and about each batch we craft. It's fit on our standard, which is it's as we mentioned in the past when we start about, we know the traceability from farm until to our melange. Then for the mold, we take other mission to develop our own mold. In the right here, we start with the Rayco, the old brand, and we just made two landmark from Riyadh, which is the long tower. It's the clock tower, and the other one in the under, it's the Heritage Palace of Saudi Arabia. But when I take my time to rethink about this mold, I think I just was trying to figure the most two things for me in person, which is the time and the value of the time. After we get approved to register our new brand Rayco, I came back to again, and I try sorry, to develop a new design for our mold, which is came with palm, which is one of important things in our culture. Then a door. Again, we came up with a door, and we try to ensure our message it will deliver to enter to this part of the world. You have to be through the door, and we are opening the door for the chocolate, other chocolate. Local chocolate maker in Saudi Arabia to start their own, to start make own chocolate. The road mapping, as I mentioned in the previous, the cacao, as in 2012, it just was a commodity in my study. I'm not was interested in chocolate. 2017, we contact 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗃. 2018, we start our research. Then Ronald joined me. I think we sent many of emails and received many. I think it's 100, because we need to build something from scratch. We need more information. That's why we contact many of people's. 2019, we met CocoaTown in Riyadh, and we purchased our machine from them in the festival. Then in 2020, when the lockdown started, we have to make more recipes, learn without sell any bar to the customer. We just to learn about the chocolate until we start first import cacao from India, from Go Ground, in May. In the same month, in May, I had a friend in the southern region of Saudi Arabia who has on coffee farm, and he told me about his cacao tree, and it's he's close to harvest his cacao, and I asked him to send the cacao beans to me, because he doesn't have the right machines and equipment to process the beans. Also, he's my brother. He's passed away in September, and who's keep me working in chocolate until now, because we struggled many times, and we had forced many things. It threat our days, our business, our everything's. But he left a message before, a voice note before his pass away, and he asked me, keep going, you are in the right tracking. So we start with him from his advice, and we still continue, and we see the result. In 2021, we start see the result. This is the bar. It's from cacao planted in southern of Saudi Arabia. We promote in our Instagram account, and we get some interview in TV show. Here also, many people, they consider they have their own confused about Saudi. They making chocolate. What's happening in Saudi Arabia? So the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he came with his vision 2030, and it's helped us more to engage with the rest of the world, and to find other business, thinking out of the box, to find something to enhance our culture, our flavor, our industrial, and they love the way how we making chocolate, and they understand as well the threats of this business, whether and the support to put the Saudi on the map of making chocolate. and I'm so happy that our practical in this world, it's helped some of our friends here in Saudi Arabia who's starting making chocolate. This is the guy who my friend Gibran, and this is as shown in the photo, the cacao boots in his farm in southern of Saudi Arabia. We continue the road mapping. It's not easy to start from scratch, and you have to put your plan and readjust your plan many times. Here we show in the map the orange one is United States. When you start with CocoaTown and Haiti, we try to purchase from Haiti and Guatemala through Meridian and Uncommon Cacao as a sample, just to discover the flavor, the different flavor from origin to origin. Then here come to South America, Colombia, where we had two different experiments from them. One it was the worst, and one was the greatest way. And we plan to expand our import from South America. Here the Asia, where we purchased some machines from Russian company before 1 week of lockdown in Saudi Arabia. And India, we start a good business with Indian companies such as GoGround and 𝗙. Also, we interest in Philippines and Tahi, also Sri Lanka. Japan, here we involve Japan because we are involved in matcha. We love to make matcha and drink matcha, so it's also came to enhance our experience with making chocolate, white chocolate with matcha. Here the Africa, where I already have went Kenya and Tanzania. Tanzania in last October 2021, and we developed some project in Kenya for cacao, and it can be support our in coffee, and we can support our cacao business in Africa. Europe, they provide a unique thing. United Kingdom, where we study the chocolate tasting. France, where I visit the shop, the chocolate shop in France, in Paris, and where we get invited from our friend there to start to learn more about chocolate. Belgium, we get friend Sulfa Cacao, Katrina and GP, where I met them for first time in Tanzania. And we are looking to expand our relation and business together. Italy, where our FBM supplier machines there, and they're doing well with us. Here we can show all our support suppliers. Start from CocoaTown, Uncommon, Alexander Family Milk, where we purchase our organic cow milk. Meridian, Bitaco, it was a tea company in Colombia. 𝗵𝗁𝘁, we import our cacao from them, our cacao butter from them. Native, it's for the sugar. We just use the sugar cane, organic sugar cane. FBM for the machine. 𝗙, it's Indian company that will provide the camel milk, which is not existing here in Saudi Arabia, so we have to import from India. Also GoGround, who's first supplier, who supply us with half tons from GoGround, then Cacao Cameli. And I appreciate, because it's my first time to visit Tanzania and being with our supplier. Belmont State, we have different story with them because until she introduced us to them, then we start business, import the cacao, but it's not possible during the COVID, and it's not possible to ship direct to Saudi Arabia from Caribe. So we have to find our find the way to import the cacao, and we do it twice. And we always appreciate Shadl and his team support in Grenada. Here, here the bar when we was in Tanzania. This is our packaging, and we mentioned Salam because this is our first trip into Dar es Salaam. And then the left upper side, it's the matcha and halwa, which is chocolate with camel milk, and me in the lower left side with my cam. I'm part of my time I create some content for Rayco and for how I'm living in Saudi Arabia and what I'm doing in this part of the world. It's good to meet people who's loving chocolate, and they inspire me about their knowledge about chocolate. Here with the farm in Tanzania, when we was with Cacao Camili, and in this one with His Excellency Nigerian Energy Minister, and here with Indian Embassy in Riyadh. Also here, Brian from Cacao Camili and the farmer, and this is our own old mold, and how there is some of the, when we visit the safari in Tanzania. This is our contact. Feel free to contact me in Instagram. The first account is for the Rayco, and the second one for my blog. Also, we are going to launch our YouTube channel officially in end of February next month. Also, if you have chocolate or cacao, we appreciate to and we are welcome to accept it, because who's not loving chocolate and cacao, also coffee. So the question, it's to you, Sterisa.